Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to the street, man. How we doing today? What we saying, people? Big stream today. Loads of conversation, loads of chat because it is popping off. We said we're just waiting for that one domino to fall, and it appears that domino has fallen now because news, people, news is popping off left, right, and centre. You know what I'm saying? Although I think for you, that's left, innit? And that's right, and that's centre. But you know what it is. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Big up Toulouse, man. I got a Toulouse kit on. What are we saying? Toulouse or not Toulouse? Yeah, I got this. Do you know the mystery kit boxes? You know the mystery kit boxes? I actually got this for Christmas. Mystery kit Toulouse. And my mate, yeah, he knows a guy who plays for this team. Went to school with him. So that's pretty weird, man. You have nothing to lose, LB, says Vortex Trading. Toulouse B. Oh. Right, okay, let's get into it. Where do we start, people? Because there's 3 topics of conversation for this stream. Bayern Munich want Calvin Phillips. Declan Rice is now close to signing for Manchester City, according to Di Marzio. And Kovacic is having his medical today. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll start off with Kovacic because Hugh has sent this in.
Yes, people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming from. I am here talking to you from the Big Apple, New York City. It's all popping off right now, transfer-wise. Here we goes, left, right, and centre. And, of course, City are in the mix. And I wanted to have my say. I wanted to give you my thoughts. Even though I'm away for work right now with the Big Six, I still wanted to tell you what I think of what's going on. So I suppose the first big one that I want to mention is, of course, the loss of our leader, our captain, our treble-winning captain, and our three-peat winning captain, Ilkay Gundogan. And I can't lie, man, it's breaking my heart. It really is. It's breaking my heart because I did feel he had more in the tank. I did feel he had more to give in a Man City shirt. But if his heart was set on going to Barcelona, we can't begrudge him for that. You know, we can't turn around and say, no, you should have stayed. The guy's a legend. The guy's an absolute Manchester City legend. Pep's first ever signing, came injured, low fee. No one would have expected or foresaw the way it turned out for Ilkay Gundogan. So I wish him the best. I really do. Like I said, I would have loved him to stay, but for what he's given us, you know, the moment against Aston Villa, the FA Cup final, all the clutch goals, that season where Kevin De Bruyne was injured and Gundogan stepped up and scored all the goals. You know, the guy's a legend. He's a true City legend, but out with the old, in with the new, if you like, you know, where we've signed, here we go, for Mateo Kovacic, 25 million plus, I believe, 5 million in add-ons from Chelsea, 29 years old. I see some people saying he's over the hill or he's too old to be Manchester City signing. We signed Fernandinho when he was, 28, 29 as well, and look how he turned out. Mateo Kovacic, for me, I think he is a top player. He really is, you know, over 100 appearances for Real Madrid, over 100 appearances for Chelsea, or 200 appearances, I think, for Chelsea, Champions Leagues, the whole lot, man. So bringing in that experience to balance out what we've lost in Ilkay Gundogan, for me, it's only a good thing. And I'm actually excited to see what Pep's plans are for Kovacic, because I always feel that if you look at the player we're getting when they're coming in, I like to think you can add on another 10, 15, maybe 20% of quality on top of that when Pep Guardiola gets his hands on him. So with Kovacic, do I think he'll be a week in, week out starting player? No, probably not. Or at least I don't think so. You don't know what Pep. But I think in terms of the squad, and if we want to compete on, I believe it's 7 or 8 fronts next season with all the trophies we're involved in, you know, the Super Cup, the Club World Cup, etc. You need players like Kovacic, who for me is a guaranteed hit. He's guaranteed to bring at least a certain level of quality week in, week out, or whenever he's called upon.
Well, there you go. That took me by surprise then. There you go. That's Hugh's views on Kovacic and obviously Ilkay Gundogan. Hugh is out in New York at the moment, as you guys probably know, with the Big Six boys doing a lot of content over there. So he's trying to get some videos to us as and when he possibly can. But them boys are busy, and when they're not busy, they're just enjoying themselves in it. So, yeah, but there you go. That's the Kovacic thing. So today, the news that is coming out is that Mateo Kovacic is going to have his medical today. Now, this is according to Jacob Steinberg. So if I can bring this up on screen, there we go. You should be able to see that now. Who's he work for? The Guardian. So views are his. Nobody else's. So there you go. Mateo Kovacic is due to have a Manchester City medical today. £25 million plus £5 million in add-ons, taking the total fee to 30 million quid if the add-ons are met, which probably are, because apparently they're very sort of very easy to sort of meet. So Kovacic medical today. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to go all over it again because we've spoken about Kovacic quite a lot over the last few days. You all know the situation. I think it's a great deal. I think the price is amazing. I think he should fit into our team well. And yeah, people saying Fabrizio tweeted about him earlier. Yeah, I see that. Let's bring it up. Kovacic is currently undergoing medical tests as new Manchester City player. First parts of documents has already been signed. £25 million plus £5 million add-ons. And then Kai Havertz, stuff about Kai Havertz. And there he is. Kovacic in his new Manchester City kit. So, yeah, there we go. Kovacic, that's a good deal. I think we're all happy about that. Not really much else to talk about when it comes to Kovacic. We spoke about that. I think once we get the official bombazzo, the official confirmation, the comunicado oficial, that's when we'll probably speak about that a little bit more. But I think we've all pretty much said what we need to say, I think, when it comes to Mateo Kovacic. Let's turn our attention to Declan Rice, and then we'll come on to Calvin Phillips at the end. Big up to Zane, by the way. I did put your name on the screen before, but thanks a lot for becoming a YouTube channel member. It really helps support the channel grow. Massively appreciate that. Links in the description for anyone else who wants to get on that. Declan Rice. This is a bit of a madness, of course, because I'm pretty sure, like last week, I was like 99% sure this guy joins Arsenal. And now I'm like pretty certain that he probably will join City based on the current news and information. Now, last night, we had information coming out from Di Marzio that Manchester City are close to buying Arsenal target Declan Rice. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. There you go. So this came out late last night. Di Marzio, Declan Rice is getting closer to Manchester City. He then clarified, Manchester City are close to buying Arsenal target Declan Rice. There is confidence in the settlement to close a deal with West Ham United. And that is, of course, from Di Marzio, as you can see there, Sky Sports. So, yeah, there you go. Now, depends how much you believe on this one, because he's Italian, right? Is Italian? So you got to ask yourself the question, if he's based in Italy, how is he getting this information? How is he getting this news? You know what I mean, you kind of expect it to be sort of British journalists to be breaking this news, like when we got David Ormsby. And so for an Italian person to get this, how have they got that? That's quite interesting, I think, because just how doesn't really make sense. But hey, I don't know how the football world works. Maybe that's just how it is. Adam says can't trust Di Marzio, or maybe it can, maybe it can't. I don't know, innit? David says, who will be our new captain? Yeah, a lot of people asking this. It's good. For me, I think it should be Diaz, but there's a chance it could go to KDB, or it could come to maybe even Walker if Walker stays. But yeah, bring it back to Declan Rice. I mean, weren't we meant to get bids yesterday? I thought we was meant to get 2 bids. I thought we were getting news yesterday that said yesterday we were going to get 2 bids, one from Arsenal, one from Manchester City. So what's going on there? Yeah, I mean, have there been any developments on this? I've not seen anything on Twitter about it. I've not seen anything on the news about any sort of bids being made, other than the original sort of 75 plus 15 that City had made. But we hadn't had information about whether or not that had been accepted or rejected. Zohib said bid coming in today. Well, you would expect that bids do go in today, because the teams can't wait forever. City need to move. Arsenal needs to move. So the teams need to be putting in these bids because they can't be waiting. You know what I mean? That makes no sense. So, yeah, I mean, and obviously it's Friday, innit? So, I don't know if this makes any difference in the football world, but would you rather get the bid in on Friday so you don't have to wait? So you have to wait till Monday. Like, how does the football world work in that regard? I don't know. But, yeah, one would expect that, yeah, they probably would put a bid in today to sort of get that, okay, yeah, bid's accepted, and then you can sort of move on to personal terms if they've not already been agreed, medicals and such. So I guess we are close. I mean, Di Marzio's coming out and said we're close to signing him. I mean, I guess that you probably could agree and say he's probably right in the sense that City just need to put that bid in that's going to get accepted. And then if they put the bid in, it will get accepted. We then move on to personal terms, which you presume have already been agreed. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I would expect surely a bid's going to go in today, tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, I mean, who knows? But we'll have to wait on that one. Yeah, I seen this. Ex-West Ham United employee on Twitter, very reliable, said, as of 11 p.m. yesterday, there's been no Manchester City bid. He's been bang on with West Ham news. Only trust him regarding the Rice side. Yeah, I do know him. On Twitter. And yeah, I agree. His sources usually are pretty good. So he's saying that there's been no Manchester City bid. So what's City up to here? What's City doing? I'm not 100% sure. Hugh has had his say on this one as well. So let's see what Hugh's had to say.
Now, this morning, I woke up here in New York at about 11 a.m. our time, which is 5 hours behind UK time. I woke up to see Man City are preparing a bid. They're fully going in for Declan Rice, who seemed like he was bound for Arsenal. I had resigned to the idea that Declan Rice was going to Arsenal, but it seemed like Arsenal were messing about, man. They're putting in bids, getting rejected, putting in bids, getting rejected. I think if Arsenal wanted to seal that deal, they needed to go in straight away with the money West Ham want, no messing about, and get it done. But it seems, according to reports from, I think it's Romano and Ornstein, spoke about it, but one of them says West Ham wanted this situation to unfold from the beginning. They wanted Manchester City to come in. They wanted a bidding war to happen. Of course, so that they'll get the most money for their player. No wonder they're rejecting Arsenal's bids. They want Man City, who are a big financial powerhouse, to come in with the big cash and start putting pressure on Arsenal to offer even more, and then that'll push City more and see what happens. If you're at the selling club, you know exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you want. But do I want Declan Rice at Manchester City? There's a part of me just can't see it. I just can't imagine Declan Rice in a Manchester City shirt. It was never something, in the last year, 18 months, 2 years that I foresaw and was like, yeah, that's the natural progression. That's the next player we need to get in. But it's one of those ones, man. If Pep Guardiola wants Declan Rice, we got to go with it. I think he is a top footballer at 24 years of age. Like I said about Mateo Kovacic, I think at 24, Pep can get another 30-40% out of Declan Rice. He can make him a world-class player, Where will he fit into this team is the question, Declan Rice, because he is a natural number 6. We have the best number 6 in the world in Rodri, but you guys will know, week in, week out, I always say this, Rodri's 26, 27, and he's played, I think, 56 games this season. That can't run. So Declan Rice, first of all, for me, primarily, will take some of the heat off Rodri and allow Rodri some respite in games where he just shouldn't have to play, because unfortunately Calvin Phillips didn't do that. Where does this leave Calvin Phillips? I don't know, man. That's a tough conversation. Maybe you guys can let me know down below in the comments. If we get Rice, does Calvin Phillips go? But with Declan Rice, he can play that John Stones role. We know John Stones, as good as he is, he does pick up at least 1 or 2 injuries a season, and he misses periods of the season. So to bring in another, in my opinion, guaranteed hit in Declan Rice, it'll relieve some of that stress too, especially, like I keep saying, playing on all these fronts. You need quality to come in and replace players, because the squad of players we had last season, even though we're looking at losing a good few, the ones that stay, they can't play on 6-7 fronts week in, week out. It won't work. We won't be able to challenge. So Rice can play 6, he can play centre half, he can probably play as an 8. Eventually, he could probably play where Gundogan played. I think he's technically good enough, and we've seen him going forward enough for England to say that he could play as an 8. So as much as he's a utility player, he's also a quality utility player, and the report is City are willing to go up to and potentially break that 100 million record we paid for Jack Grealish. So if this is true, which coming from the tier 1 sources, Romano and Ornstein, it is, City really want this guy. City really want Declan Rice, and like I said, I never imagined him in a City shirt, but if we get him, I'll be excited. Of course I will. He's a top player, Declan Rice, and I think he's got a really, really high ceiling.
Well, there you go, Hugh. Speaking about Declan Rice, obviously he's happy with the signing, buzzing. He did say, what's happening with Calvin Phillips? Where does this leave Calvin Phillips and his future? Well, according to Christian Falk, who's a pretty good source when it comes to German news, he says this morning, Bayern Munich have Manchester City's Calvin Phillips on their shortlist. There remains a big question about Calvin Phillips. A big question about what... He apparently wants to stay. He said he wants to stay, but he kind of has to stay. He wants to stay. He can't say, yeah, you know what, I ain't good enough. You know what I mean? I want to leave. He's got to say, I want to stay. The question mark is, though, is does he actually want to stay? Does Pep Guardiola want him to stay? If either of them answers are no, then he'll have to leave. If he wants to leave or Pep wants him to leave, he'll have to leave. And if you get in Declan Rice, who I think, obviously, we're not 100% sure if he's coming into Manchester City, but if he does come to City, we would expect him to play in that number 8 role. But he can play in that 6th position as well. You know what I mean? If, say, Rodri gets injured or suspended, then you can drop Rice back to the 6 and then put Foden in the attacking midfielder or Kovacic. Is Calvin Phillips really needed? And the truth is, if Bayern Munich are interested in him, you know what I mean? There could be a potential here that Bayern Munich could come in, pay the cash, Calvin Phillips gets a chance abroad or whatever. He's won everything in England now anyway, bar the Carabao Cup. And yeah, he can go and play in Germany. City will get a nice fee. There are a couple of places, a couple players at Bayern Munich that City, I would assume, be interested in. We spoke about Kimmich. We spoke about Alphonso Davies. We spoke about Leroy Sané, Kingsley Coman, possibly even Serge Gnabry. We spoke about these players. Could there be some sort of deal there? You know what I mean? City probably do need another winger. They have loads of wingers. They're absolutely stacked in that area of the pitch. Could City do some sort of deal there with Phillips to go there and bring in a winger in? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, bit of a weird one with Calvin Phillips. I just think that they're not going to... I don't think he'll leave, but if we get Rice, I think it could be tricky for him, man, to get in the team. You know what I mean? Because like I say, but the question that I ask you, yeah, say we get Rice and Phillips stays and then Rodri gets injured. Would you rather drop Rice into the 6 and play Foden in the attacking midfielder or Kovacic, or play Phillips and stick with Rice up in that 8 position? For me, I think I'd rather play Rice. He's going to drop Rice to the 6 and play Foden or Kovacic or even Alvarez in there. So I think it could get... But again, is that just me being harsh because I've not really seen too much of Phillips in a Man City shirt? Maybe my opinion would change if I seen Phillips more. Maybe it would, but I can only go off the here and now. I mean, I can't look into the future and go, oh, he's going to be mint, because I've not seen him be mint. So, listen, that's a tricky one, man. It is a tricky one, and I guess we'll just have to see, innit? We'll just have to see. But yeah, there you go. Bayern Munich apparently interested in Calvin Phillips, and like I say, Christian Falk is a decent source. You know, he's still at build. Yeah, still at build. He's a decent source. So I guess that, you know, you have to sort of take this with a little bit of credibility. I won't be going slamming cash on, putting your mortgage on it and that. But it's one of them, innit? It's one of them. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Phillips, because he's just not impressed this year. You know what I mean? When he's been on the pitch, no, he's not been on the pitch much, but he's just not impressed. Now, he is going to get a full pre-season. Will that help him? Probably. Don't know, man. It's just a tough one with Phillips. I feel sorry for the guy, to be honest with you. Big up Reset with a super chat. Says, thank you for Gundogan, and don't worry, we will treat him very well. Winning La Liga again next season, easy, and good luck to City too. Big up Reset, the Barcelona fan. Yeah, you got yourself a top player there, man. You got yourself a top player. Just make sure there's nice places to eat in Barcelona, and you'll be fine, bro. But yeah, anything else to say on any of these things, guys? Any questions? Calvin Phillips to Bayern Munich, Rice close to City, Kovacic medical today. Yo, LB, what happens when Rice does not perform? Well, there's no guarantee that Rice would perform straight away. He's coming into a different system. He's coming into a Pep Guardiola team, which is, of course, notorious for being tricky to play in straight away. You've got to give him time. But we've got Kovacic there as well. You got Foden. So, you know, it's not the end of the world, but we just have to see, innit? Just have to see. See what else is going on. Don't want Gnabry. King Arlen says, are you gassed for the Rice signing? I'm not gassed. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm gassed about signing Rice. I'm excited about his prospects and his future. I think that he could have a really big future. And I do think he's a good player, but no, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm absolutely buzzing about this. I don't have that feeling, I'm afraid. I wish I did. I wish I had that feeling about every single player, but I don't tell you the truth. But I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good signing, and I think that there's a serious potential that he could be a top player in a few years. I mean, when I say top, I mean world class. There could be that potential. We'll have to see, innit? Will there be a first day inside for Kovacic? Yeah, you'd assume so, mate. You'd assume so, 100%. 100%. Rice will cook bread, says Nam. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. Rahul, imagine the scene to City do the quadruple next season. Well, who knows? I mean, when you talk about quadruple, what about the other three? We've got the Community Shield, we've got the Super Cup, we've got the World Cup. That World Cup's going to be mint. Corey, we don't know when the bid's coming in. We would imagine if City are serious today, tomorrow, it's got to be soon, mate, because Arsenal have already been bidding for him, and you'd expect Arsenal to be putting in another bid any time now, because they say they must be getting a little bit worried about this situation. So you got to assume that City will be bidding for this guy very, very soon. So yeah, we'll have to see on that one. But who knows, isn't it? What happens if the medical goes badly? Then he won't be signed, bro. But I imagine that the medical won't go badly. Medicals very rarely get failed. Most medicals are chilling, isn't it? Most medicals are chilling. But yeah, there you go. Bayern Munich want Calvin Phillips. Mad. Absolutely mad. We'll have to see what happens on that one. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. Big up to Hugh for sending in the videos, getting you guys some more, getting his sort of obviously views on it and that. And yeah, I stay with my phone all day. I got my phone on loud, you know what I mean, on that notifications. City Extra on Twitter, City Extra on Instagram. Make sure you're following it. Get the notification bell on, because Kovacic could be done today. We might be getting news of a Rice bid. So make sure you're following the socials. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Hit the notification bell, because if we get big news, you better believe we're going live. Make sure you guys are following my own personal channel as well. It's LB. I put daily transfer roundups on there. So if you've not already followed the channel, make sure you follow my channel. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers, man. So any help towards that would be massively appreciated. I'll put the link in the chat there. Go follow up, and I'll have my video out very shortly. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you later on. Have a great day. It's Friday, people. Let's have it.